thanks for coming along today and just sharing a little bit of the journey you've had as an investor and as being one of the coaches of the Xylem Zone. So I've got a couple of questions for you, just to give our clients and our audience a bit of an idea who you are and kind of the journey you've been on. So the first question I've got for you is, tell me about your first purchase.
Okay, my first purchase was after we'd been with our mentor for a year or so, learning about all the steps, and it was based in Toowoomba, and it was for $250,000, and it packed us where it was scary. It was $250,000. It was a huge amount of money, and we drove up 3 or 4 times to look at the property, to check it out. We came back, we went over all of our figures. We couldn't see any problem whatsoever, but the fear was there, and we did it anyway. And the next day we looked around and thought, I don't get what was so scary. We want to do another one. So we did.
So then, so tell me then, how is property investing different to how you imagine it would be?
When we imagined it, we thought of us being almost property developers, in a suit and wheeling and dealing, and being lots of complicated and lots of almost magic and intuitive weirdness behind the scenes. And it turns out it's just one little step that you understand quite clearly, after another little step that you also understand very clearly. You build up enough of these steps and you've got your property. And it's totally easy and simple and straightforward and understandable all the way through, which is really surprising. I thought there'd be a lot more Hollywood involved somehow.
So really you found that it's just been a clear process and clear steps, and not simpler, but not as complicated or vague as you thought it would be.
No, it's so understandable that I can explain it to my daughter, and she follows along. She's only 11. She follows along with most of the steps all the way through.
Well, that's awesome. Oh, great to give her a good start. She'll be get ahead of the game very fast. So I suppose then, looking back, what advice would you give to yourself in your first year of investing?
Okay, we concentrated on all the steps, all the things that you could do. If I was going back, I would say to myself, the most important thing is really understand your goals. We actually want to end up, because everything comes backwards from that. Your plan and your strategy is to get to your goals. So we looked at our goals and thought, yep, we want to pay off our houses fast, we want to have a passive income, and that's it. In reality, afterwards, and really thinking about our goals, we decided, no, we want to do this. We want a specific travel every year. We want to be able to lounge on the beach if we want. We want to be able to go see our friends and our family. We want to have a stress-free life. We don't want to wake up in the middle of the night worried about this or that. We want to have a clear structure so we can look ahead and go, I can see how my life's going to plan out, and it's great.
Yeah, awesome. And do you have any favourite stories from your property investing?
The best one that I've got is, it was our 4th property, I think, when we couldn't get the deposit together. So we were trying to think outside the square, and after doing a whole lot of talking about it and some red wine and then some more talking and then a couple of beers and then more talking, we suddenly thought, you know, we're not attached to the house we're in, and I've got a large commute into work, and we're paying off 2 cars and paying for 2 cars all the time. Why don't we move into a smaller house closer to work, right beside a train station, and then we could sell one of the cars, and we did. And then I thought, now that we've done that, why don't I buy a bike, and then I can bike into work. There's a bike path that goes all the way in, and then I can not have to pay for train fares. And then I thought, and I also don't have to pay for my gym. And so the car that we sold, we got 26 for, and the train was 2.5, and then all the costs associated with another car was another $2,000. And so at the end of the year, we're looking at going, we only had to save $6,000, and we got a whole deposit for the whole new house, and it was so easy. And we can't believe why we haven't done it before. And I got fit.
So you mean to say you sold your own home and moved into a rental to get your 5th investment property?
Yes. And we thought it was going to be really complicated and hard, and it turns out it's so easy. In fact, the house we moved into was nicer than the house we owned.
And did that help your cash flow as well?
Yes, rent was a lot less than the mortgage payments we were paying. So all these little bits added up into quite a big amount, which we used as our deposit. and we got serviceability with the banks through it, and actually had a much nicer life. I wasn't spending all my time commuting in and out of work by car and then by train.
Yeah, mate, that's an awesome story, and it really shows how you and your wife have worked as a couple together to get to where you want to be, and not got caught up in the detail and kept your kind of mind on the end goal as well. So thanks for coming along, that's awesome, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ray.